Picture this. You are traveling along a network of ancient canals, surrounded by lush greenery and murky waters. The boatman paddles silently, the sound of his oar slicing through the still water echoing into the thick fog that blankets the land. The world feels suspended in time. Suddenly, through the mist, you catch sight of something. Dozens, no, hundreds of hanging figures from the trees. Tiny hands. Worn faces. Staring eyes, blank and lifeless. You have reached the island of the dolls. It is a place steeped in legend, soaked in tragedy, and cloaked in mystery. Some say the dolls are haunted. Some say the entire island is cursed. But one thing is certain, once you visit, the memories, and the feeling of being watched, never leave you. Tonight, on the Grim Tapes, we embark on a journey deep into the heart of one of the world's eeriest mysteries. We will unravel the terrifying origins of the island of the dolls, explore the life and death of the island's solitary caretaker, and dive into the countless chilling encounters reported by those brave enough to visit. Stay with us until the end, and ask yourself, can an island truly be haunted? Or is there something even darker at work here? Prepare yourself. This story will stay with you long after the final word has been spoken. Let us begin. Chapter 1: The Origins of Xochimilco. Long before the city of Mexico City became the bustling metropolis it is today, it was a sprawling lake, crisscrossed by man-made canals and islands. These islands, called chinampas, were created by the Aztecs to grow crops. Ingenious and enduring, the system still exists in some areas today. Xochimilco is one of these places, a historic, watery maze of floating gardens and winding canals that once served as the agricultural heart of an empire. But even places of life and growth have their shadows. And deep within Xochimilco's labyrinth lies a darkness that refuses to be forgotten. It is here, amid the reeds and waters, that the island of the dolls was born. Chapter 2: Don Julian Santana Barrera. In the early 1950s, a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera arrived at this lonely island. Don Julian was a recluse, a man seeking solitude and simplicity. Leaving behind his wife and family, he chose a life of isolation, tending to his chinampa and living off the land. But Don Julian's peace was short-lived. According to legend, he discovered the body of a young girl who had drowned in the nearby canal under mysterious circumstances. The girl's spirit, it is said, never left the island. Not long after finding her body, Don Julian spotted a doll floating in the water, drifting aimlessly among the lily pads and currents. Believing the doll belonged to the deceased girl, he retrieved it and hung it from a tree as a sign of respect, a gesture meant to appease her troubled soul. But for Don Julian, it was only the beginning. Chapter 3: The Growing Obsession. After the first doll was hung, Don Julian claimed to hear whispers at night. Faint, almost imperceptible at first. But over time, the whispers grew louder. Soft cries, desperate pleas, chilling laughter carried on the wind. Fearing the girl's spirit was restless and unhappy, he began to gather more dolls. Any doll he found, whether buried in trash, floating down the canal, or abandoned in the streets, he would rescue. Visitors to the island often brought him dolls as gifts. Local traders would exchange their broken toys for produce or trinkets. Each doll, regardless of its condition, was sacred to Don Julian. Missing limbs, eyeless faces, shredded clothing, it did not matter. The dolls were not meant to be beautiful. They were offerings to the spirit, a shield against the darkness he believed surrounded him. Over the years, thousands of dolls accumulated. They covered the trees, the walls, the ground. A grotesque, decaying army of silent sentinels watching from every corner. Chapter 4: Life on the Island. Don Julian's life became increasingly strange. He would speak to the dolls as if they were alive, asking for their protection, thanking them for keeping the island safe. Locals viewed him with a mixture of fear and pity. Some thought he was mad, driven insane by loneliness and guilt. Others believed he had uncovered something true and terrible, something they dared not mock. Despite his growing eccentricity, Don Julian never left. The island had become his entire world. And then, after decades of devotion to the dolls, tragedy struck once again. In the early 2000s, Don Julian was found dead. He had drowned in the same canal where the little girl had died so many years before. To many, it was no coincidence. They believed the spirit had finally claimed the man who had tried so desperately to honor her. Others whispered that it was the dolls themselves that demanded payment, a life for a life. Chapter 5: The Island After Don Julian. Following Don Julian's death, his family took over the island. Instead of clearing away the decaying dolls, they preserved them, honoring Don Julian's legacy and the eerie mystique he had created. Word of the island of the dolls spread rapidly. Journalists, documentary filmmakers, ghost hunters, and curious travelers from around the world flocked to the site. Tourists riding colorful trajineras, traditional flat-bottomed boats, would make detours to glimpse the island from a distance. Some brave souls would step ashore. Many would leave gifts, new dolls, old toys, even personal trinkets. Some would leave in fear, convinced they had heard whispers among the trees or seen the dolls' heads turn to watch them. The island had become a shrine, not just to the memory of a drowned girl, but to the collective fears and mysteries that dwell within all of us. The island of the dolls stands today as a chilling monument to sorrow, belief, and the unknown. Visitors continue to bring dolls, hoping to either honor the girl's spirit or perhaps ward off something darker. The question remains: is the island truly haunted by the restless soul of a young girl? Or has the fear, the stories, and the countless gazes of the dolls created a living nightmare of human imagination? As you ponder this mystery, we ask you: would you dare to visit the island of the dolls alone? Would you hang a doll as an offering? Or would you turn away, unable to bear the unseen eyes watching from the shadows? Tell us what you believe in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the world's most haunting legends, make sure you subscribe to the Grim Tapes, like this video, and share it with friends who love a good scare. Until next time, stay curious, and remember, sometimes, the scariest things are not just the ones we can see, but the ones we feel watching us in the dark. Thank you for watching.